Hello everybody. Today I will teach you about the scope and the methods of analysis in economics. I am Wakuma from Salale University. Those who are a family of this YouTube, thanks for your attending in this video. For newcomers, I request you to subscribe this YouTube to get new and update information concerning this lecture notice. Now today I will start with the subtopic scope and the methods of economic analysis. The scope and the methods of economic analysis. Last period we discussed about the definition of economics, importance of economics, and the branches of and the different important to the human life in economics. Today I will teach you in this video about the scope of economics. You know, in the recent, there are different scopes of economics. These economic branches may be development economics, industrial economics, transport economics, welfare economics, environmental economics, and so on. But the key or the core modern economics is formed by two major branches. These are microeconomics and macroeconomics. What is microeconomics? What is macroeconomics? You may be new for these words, what macro or micro. For natural resources, natural science students, you may study about macrobiology and microbiologies, macroorganisms and microorganisms. You may know. In natural science, macro means large, micro means small. Now, when we come to economics, the application of economics, this macro and micro are the two core branches of economics. Microeconomics, that means MI, is concerned with the economic behavior of individual decision-making units such as firms, households, markets, and industries. This branch of economics that deals about individual decision-making of firms, households, markets, and industries, it is microeconomics because it studies about a single or individual things. Macro means it is opposite. That means the aggregate of this micro. Macro means it is a branch of economics that deals about the economy as a whole, as a general. That means summation of microeconomics gives us macroeconomics. In other words, it is aggregative economics that examines the interrelation among various aggregates, their determination, and the cause of fluctuation in them. So macro, when we say it is a large means it is addition of small things, microeconomics. Let me give you a simple example. You may know about tree, individual trees. Individual tree has a name. Tree 1, tree 2, tree 3, tree 4, yeah, like this. You can call by their names, the trees, different trees. But forest, when we say, it is the summation of all these individual trees. This summation of individual trees together gives us a forest. Similar to that, macroeconomics is also the summation of these individual firms, markets, industries together gives us macro. You may talk about the economy of the country. The economy of the country can be measured by GNP or GDP. GNP, gross national product, GDP, gross domestic product. These are the macro parts. You may talk about unemployment rate in the country, inflation rate in the country, consumption expenditure in the country. You may study about these things. All these are the summation of micro together gives us macro. For example, you may talk about farming or farm sector, the agricultural sector, or you may talk about industrial sector or the service sector. Industrial plus agricultural plus service sector, together these three sectors gives us macroeconomics, talking about the economy of the country. But when we are talking only about the single sector, it is micro parts. You may talk about the price of tea, the price of sugar, the price of maize, wheat, or anything. This is individual price. It is a micro MI. But when we are talking the average price of all goods and services in the country, we are talking about macro, whether it is inflation or deflation. When we are talking about unemployment rate in the country, we are talking about macroeconomy. But when you are talking about unemployment rate in the town, whether it is Finfinne or Nekam or Bahir Dar, you are talking about the micro parts. Let me give you another simple example about the difference between macro and micro. Micro studies about individual economic units, as I have told you already. Macroeconomics, talks about the economy as a whole. Again, microeconomics, it deals with individual income, individual price, individual outputs. But macro, it talks about the the summation of all prices, general price, national income, national GDP, and so on. Its main tools are the demand and the supply of particular commodities, but in this macro, its main tools are aggregate demand and aggregate supply. In micro, we may take about the demand or the supply, demand and supply of firms, demand and the supply of agriculture, demand and the supply of maize, demand and the supply of sugar, we can say in micro. But in macro, the aggregate demand. That means summing all individual demands with individual supply gives us aggregate demand and aggregate supply. Individual income, individual saving, individual price, and individual firm's output, individual consumption, and so on. Microeconomics. Thus there is national saving, general price level, whether it is increasing or decreasing, national output, aggregate consumption, and so on are an example of macro. Thus there is methods of economic analysis. We have two methods of economic analysis, the positive and the normative economic analysis. Positive economic, when we are talking about the truth or the reality of the world as it is, we are talking about positive economics. The facts, analysis of the facts, describe the world as it is. Example, the current inflation rate. You can talk about the current inflation rate. It is the real. Poverty and unemployment. You can talk about this reality of the poverty and unemployment problem in the country. The life expectancy. Life expectancy is also based on the truth and the reality of, it is talking the reality of one country or one area. When you are talking about the reality of one area or in the country, it is a positive. But normative means when we are giving about personal judgment, it is, we call normative analysis. For example, the poor should pay no tax, should not pay. There is need for intervention of government in the economy. Females ought to be given job opportunities. It is your personal judgment or personal assumption, or you can give your idea. This is normative analysis. This analysis of economics, two parts, positive and normative. Positive economic analysis means when we are talking about the reality of the existence in the world. But when we are giving our personal judgment, value judgment, it is normative economics. The other is methods of reasoning in economics. Reasoning of the economics are generally two parts. The first reasoning is inductive reasoning method and deductive reasoning method. What is the importance of these reasoning methods? In economic theory, these reasoning methods provides the base for economic analysis. This reasoning gives us or provides us the basic analysis for economic reasonings. Because of this, we can reason out the economic analysis in two ways, inductive and deductive methods. Inductive reasoning is a logical method for reaching at a current general statement or theory based on reasoning independent and specific correct statements. This inductive means it is from specific to general. For example, let me give you another for a simple example for inductive reasoning. Inductive, as I have told you, it is reasoning from specific to a general. For example, from specific, Abebe is human being, or Mr. X is human being. Human being is mortal. Now our conclusion is all human beings are mortal. Abebe is human being. Mr. X is human being, and Mr. X is mortal. We can conclude all human beings are mortal. This is inductive reasoning. The other reason is deductive, opposite. Deductive is from general to specific, reasoning from general to specific. Let me repeat the first example for I have given you for inductive. Mr. X, let's say, all human beings are mortal. Mr. X is human being. Now, Mr. X is mortal. From general to specific. Such type is deductive methoding and deductive reasoning, I say. Now, these are the methods of economic analysis. In economic analysis, we have two ways, inductive and deductive. Now, for inductive and deductive, inductive is from specific to general, deductive is from general to specific. Now, in the next period, I will come with a new topic of this introduction to economics. For today, it is enough. Thank you for your attention. Thank you.